All right, guys. Well, I'm doing a voiceover. Yeah, GoPro on the stick really sucked. Banging around noises and wind noises and ugh. Either way, we're at Fort Benning, Georgia. Cool M48 in the parking lot. We're gonna go visit the U.S. Army Armor and Cavalry Collection. And we parked apparently in the wrong lot, but we're walking over to the building now. We'll be inside in any right now. What do we got here? A little M2, it looks like. Yeah, a little tiny guy. Little itty bitty peckers on that turret. Nothing to write home about. M3 Lee Grant ish. Guys, I'm not good. I wasn't really reading every little info board. And then, M4s. Guys, I love tanks. I don't know every single M4. Obviously cast hull versus welded hull and heavy versus I can one or two of these are definitely an M4 heavy, I guess. And you have, I was too busy kind of recording this and then sort of telling my wife randomly, how these things just rounds went in one side and out the other. And the way we won was many tanks and many spare parts and easy to replace systems and transmissions and all that. And these all have VVS. Hi, Cindy. Hello. They name the tank sometimes. Cindy's an odd name for tank, but whatever. And then you have, the bolted final drive transmission area versus the cast. And I'm trying to explain to her in the little extra plates and how the stars were targets. So they would paint over them and they would weld on extra armor. And I'm telling you, man, look up close. Damn, those weld beads are nasty. I do a little welding myself here and there, and oh boy, I would have ground those down. Oh, somebody needs to go in for the new tires special there at R&S Strauss. Oh, they're out of business. Pep Boys, I guess. Um, yeah, so she was like getting a kick out of touching the rubber pads on the things and the treads and all that. It's pretty cool. They have a lot of Shermans at this place. This was an open house at Fort Benning. They don't have their own museum yet. They're working on it. It's going to take a long. Oh, HVSS suspension. Oh, yeah. What do we got here? We got an M4. I think this is A1E8. I don't know, man. This is pretty cool. It's got the metal Easy 8 tracks on it, though, that I've seen in a couple photos, but yeah, I love me a good Sherman with a HVSS suspension on it. I just think it's cooler. It's more mechanical. There's more bits I see, and yeah, M4A1E8 Sherman, blah, 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 and all metal tracks. She's pretty sweet looking. But the rock star, as always, and the big seller at the hobby shops is the Easy 8, which we're coming up to in a minute. Oh yeah, I'm doing some detail video here. I'm going to be redetailing my Israeli M51 Super Sherman, which is not really a fully correct RC kit, but it's close enough. Just looking at all the casting marks and just Mother Nature eating away at that cast metal. But yeah, here's an Easy 8 for you guys to nibble on. Oh, she's nice. She's a pretty girl. My wife was like, "What's that little door for?" I'm like, "It's for throwing out the spent shells." Like, huh? I was like, well, when we went to the gun range, and remember you got that little hot shell casing down your bra. Yeesh. She's like, yeah. I was like, imagine something, the size of a poster tube coming out of the back of there burning hot. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, you don't want those filling up. Yeah, look at it. We got a couple of Stewarts. I'm pretty sure are both these Stewarts. Yeah, it'll be different variations. Again, I'm not good at reading the little boards, but yeah, not bad. Oh, I was forgetting what the little plow thing he was for. I told my wife it was for going through like barbed wire barricades and stuff and people. Germans. It's a German barbecue spear. Chaffee? Yeah, little M24. Yep. She's cute. I like little Chaffee. They should do Tamiya. Yeah, everybody wants them to do every tank they want them to do. A Chaffee would be cool. And here I am, more modern suspension now. Oh, those wheels rotted out. I think Ford made this. That probably explains the rust. Maybe GM. A little jerry can holder. That's pretty cool. It's the little details people like to see sometimes when they're working on their models. This phone, you could not call in and airdrop of pizza from Domino's in World War II. Otherwise, that's what I would have been trying from that sucker. Some taillight and cables, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of a, yeah, a little bit of a look here in detail. I'm a terrible museum tour guide. Walking up on an M41 now, the Walker Bulldog. I got my Bulldog, I named him Groot. I was thinking of naming him Walker, but then they would have been, I've gone over that in previous videos. Stupid name for a dog. Good name for a tank. So, yeah, look at that. She's a little banged up, but people like to recreate some of these beat up details. My wife is actually commenting on these tracks, how different they are than all the other tracks she saw on all the previous tanks. And I said, well, this is kind of a light tank-ish, medium-ish. It's a light medium. It's like a medium rare. You don't want medium. You don't want rare. Medium rare, in my opinion. Just little handles and little stowage boxes. People love going completely crazy on their model builds. But, here we go. Oh, wait, don't bang your head on, the muzzle brake. They couldn't have just pointed that turret a little higher. There's a long gun on there. Very long gun. You got a muffler out front to warm up your hot dogs and your MREs or whatever they had. Now, the Sheridan M551. I just built this RC. And I'm like, I knocked on the sides of this thing. I was like, is this hollow? Is this fiberglass? And the guy's like, I was like, the armor feels like, he's like, oh boy, you said armor in the same sentence with 551 Sheridan? It's paper thin aluminum on the sides of this thing. I didn't realize all those round shoulder areas are actually flexible. They were some sort of plastic, rubbery something at an M113 troop carrier. Looks brand new to me. I probably never saw a lick of combat. Probably just a base vehicle for training. But yeah, the Sheridan, no armor. I mean, they say armored fighting vehicle. No, it's aluminum. It's literally tactical beer can. It's not a hell of a lot thicker than a beer can in some spots. Inside of a troop transport, M113, this thing probably rode like a friggin' New York City ambulance inside if you were lucky. These seats had the same amount of cushioning as one of those $49.99 Staples office chair specials you get. But yeah, there she is. I mean, she's meant to get troops there alive, not comfortable. So, and this is from Die Hard. Yeah, the police got themselves an RV. Little wheeled something or other. I don't know every vehicle, guys. I'd be insulting some of these guys by calling myself a tank nerd, but I mean, I geek out. I'm a tank geek. Yeah, let's say geek, dweeb, tank dweeb. Nerds are actually really smart. Geeks might be smart. Dweebs are just all the negatives of a nerd without the intelligence. So I'm somewhere between tank dweeb and tank geek. But yeah, none of these things are built for comfort. You also put your lunch on top of that spent 30 cal shell casing catch box. That'll probably keep your meal warm. Then we got some more utility vehicles. It looks kind of M113 based. Yeah, very similar. Maybe a recovery vehicle or something. Engineering vehicles. I didn't read every placard. It was pretty hot in here, man. I mean, the building's hot. You're in South Georgia, not air conditioned. They did have nice ceiling fans and all that. But yeah, you see that big roll up door? That parking lot is where we should have parked instead of where we did park. But then I got to see that cool M48 Patton since we parked in the wrong parking lot and had to walk about 50 yards or so. A little kids, get out of the way. This is a man's thing. Little Jeep, here's a little kiosk, U.S. Armor and Cavalry Collection. A little slideshow going. I'm going to grab a business card. You could apparently, if you're lucky, call the curator and go down to their live active workshop where they're actively working on tanks. They have like 200 more pieces of kit, they said. This is just the finished stuff that they could actually fit. And my beautiful M26 Pershing, love it. Beautiful. Show them fresh looking here. Apparently the the whole machine gun was optional. No, they just don't put them back in. I'm really not sure what this tank is. If anyone could identify it, please do. There was no placard. There was no tags. And then we got an M36. Guns pointing the wrong way. So one of the curator guys came by and he literally put his hand on the end of the barrel and just started swinging the turret side to side a couple inches manually. It's smooth as butter, but the turret rotation gearbox is not working so great. So when they parked it, it was a little unwieldy due to the length of the gun. So he said, well, we can swing it this way, but it'll hit one of the beams, or we could swing it the other way and it would hit the tank next to it. And it's not really a runner right now, so they kind of just had to leave it like this for now. And again, this is just where they keep the things out of the rain after they finish kind of fixing them up. What do we got here? Oh, my wife was just totally enamored with the two guys in the period dress telling her how they got the letters over to the soldiers in World War II. Here's some sort of Sherman-based recovery vehicle of some form. Apparently they... So from Iron Man, is this the Fun V or the Humdrum V? Well, the Fun V got blown up as we know it, so this must be Rhodey's Humdrum V. And it doesn't even have headlights. I mean, I've seen stuff at military auctions kind of with more of their bits and pieces on it, but I'm building a Tamiya 1/12 scale M10 1025, and this is very similar. So I'm just going around her, looking at her, poking around and looking, seeing, little details and things for me to do for my future Tamiya build of my RC. And another Jeep. Some armored sort of wheeled vehicles and stuff. Guys were really cool there. They love what they do. They need to raise a lot more money so they can open up a proper museum on the fort or near it or something. There's an infantry museum on the fort. We didn't get a chance to go to it. We were kind of in a rush to get back home for a little puppy. But yeah, this is some cool stuff here. And I mean, I've gone a whole video. Have I gone a video without complaining? Yeah, I'm sweating my friggin' balls off. It's hot. My wife's getting warm. We're getting hungry. It took us a little over 2 hours to get here. It's going to take another 2+ hours to get home. The half track's pretty cool. I like that M3 half track. And those are I think those are rubber tracks on there. This thing's, again, yeah, no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in this sucker. You don't even get a roof. God forbid it rains. All you have is a 50 cal on a post. But, I mean, there you go. Look at that suspension. Pretty cool. Little elixir of the gods. So, this is what we did on our Labor Day. I labored driving down here, and then we labored walking around, and then I labored driving home, and then I labored in the bathroom from the fast food we ate on the way home. So I did a lot of labor today. But either way, I wanted to get this done for you guys. I mean, I was going all the way to Fort Benning, and the guys on Tank Porn and the forums, RC Tank forums, and then all the Facebook groups for all the model tank builders and RC tank guys, and I'll I just did this video for you guys, really.